So I've come to a conclusion from doing these. Some people write journals talking about what they did for the day and what they thought about. Other people write poems, other things. In the past, I did jewelry, but I haven't been able to afford the wire. So I have not done a whole lot of jewelry work in, well, quite a while. I've done a couple of pieces because I had some wire left, but not a lot. And I really miss art in some form. And I realized art for me is my form of journaling. It's an expression in color, and when I sculpt in clay or when I make jewelry with the combination of gemstones and color. So I've started doing these color it projects, adult coloring book kind of thing. And when I finished one, I realized this is my journal. This is my journey through color, my expression of who I am. And I guess what you would say, some people find relief or find answers in what they write. Others find it in pills. Well, since I'm allergic to a lot, there were jokes. I decided that I would find a way to relieve stress other than pills, because obviously I can't take medication. I'm allergic to Prozac and Wellbutrin and all of those. So for a while there I was frustrated. And my walk and talks helped some, but they weren't a creative outlet. They were just a talking outlet. And then I realized when I saw one of the color ads on Facebook that I missed doing something creative, even if it's coloring in something someone else designed. So I went ahead and took advantage of one of their specials, and I got the gel pens and their sample pack of 10 designs taken from their different books. This is one of them. This is from the Sea Life, I think it was called. Hang on, I can tell you. Pardon the big hand coming through the video here. This one's Colors of the Ocean. I don't know if you can see. This is the one that I'm working on. So each book has a picture from it. I've done the fairy. Y'all have seen that one. I did the cat. I just finished this one. And I have done this cat. So that's the Wild Animals collection. And then the unicorn one I did, I don't know if it's once a week or what, but they send you a free one to print out, and the unicorn came from that. So right now I'm doing this undersea, and I try to think about colors that might actually be found under the sea, and at the same time some of the colors I'm using are ones that ring true to me, you know, colors that have meaning for me. My color has always been purple, any shade thereof. And I like the colors of a peacock, so if you notice, a lot of what I've done reflects that. Like my fish here are very much peacock colored. And I love the metallics and the glitters. I don't know how much of that you see in the video or in pictures, but these pens are well, a good 60% of them at least is glitter. There's another, like 10 that are metallic. I'm working with the kind of antique silver lining it's called. And then there are 10 that are just normal colors, though kind of vibrant or pastel. They're not no glitter, no metallic to them. I would love to find a pen that has a pretty pearl white or any form of medium that's a pearl white color. And a few like flesh tones would be good for when there's a human or human-like creature like my fairy. I found a watercolor pencil to do her skin because I just couldn't do her in a vibrant or metallic color. It just didn't ring true to me, you know. That's possible. She could have been lavender or green or something, but all of the colors were too bright, too vibrant to do her. And so I chose the watercolor pencil, and it was perfect. I went over it first with the pencil and then used in the watercolor set. Now, the set I have is not from Color It. It's one I got through Amazon. But, and it's, here it is. Artedemi watercolor pen set. They're fiber-tipped pens, and there's one that you fill with water. And so you can use it to blend and like tone down other colors or to mix colors. And so I use it with the watercolor pencil, and that gave it a nice, smooth, pretty look. So underwater, I imagine things. I've never scuba dived, so I know that everything kind of has the tone of the water itself first, you know, the color coming through. And then I'm imagining there's probably some silvers and grays, and because of shadow play. And since this is a pretty silver, I figured it would work. This is probably like a shale or like sandstone bottom that's depicted here. So that's kind of what I'm going with. You know how you have the lines in the stone, and when you cut away, kind of like when you cut into a tree and you get the rings and that show the age of the tree. And then I figured this is kind of like the water play against it. So anyhow, I thought I'd show a little progression of what I'm doing by coloring on video here. So these pens came from Color It. They came in this really nice case. I don't know if this is showing up on the... No, it's... Sorry, I don't mean to... Can you see? Right there, that's the pens. And it's a 2-layer kit full. Really like this set. And then this is, one's the watercolor pencil and the other one's just a regular art pencil. So, but that's what I'm working with. Okay, are we back on the, what I'm working on? Yeah. Oops, okay, that's the top. And that's where I'm working right now. I'm using a flexible holder, so I apologize if it bounces a little bit for a second there for my adjusting it. But had to find some way to do this. So I've noticed my feeling of creativity has gone up, and my anxiety levels, which truly have been fairly low lately, have gone down some, even more. But so this has been a helpful practice. But like I said, I realize this is my form of journaling. I'm creating a feeling of my day in color as opposed to words. And that's, you know, we all have to find our way to express, to bring out our creative mojo, so to speak. Some people work out to get those endorphins going and feel better. This particular pen, only one that I've noticed this with, does not want to roll right. It's a little better. Just needed a more forceful start. Something about gold ink just doesn't want to flow as easy. I've noticed it with other ink pens that I've had over the years. I'm imagining gold to be like what this rock, gold and silver, well, they're natural shades of earth. So I'm figuring that's kind of what the underwater scene would look like. The rocky or sandy bottom. Since I don't have a sand pen, and the colors, I don't have any tans or light beige or anything like that. So I've ordered some more through wish.com that have the watercolor colors and some markers, and we'll see. The markers, it's like a 64 or 68 pen set, and we'll see what variety of colors we get with that. I like wish.com because you can get pretty good deals, and when you're just trying to try something out, I like to save money where I can, and that's one way to do it. I will do more videos like this in the future where I won't talk, or not much, just color. Be kind of like those videos where people eat, and a whole lot of people want to watch them, because something about watching other people eat is relaxing to some people. There's something about it. To me, I can't stand the sound of somebody chewing, so and they smack their lips and chew loudly, and ugh, that grosses me out. But I have a really good friend who it helps her sleep. She watches those at night. She has trouble eating herself, and I think they help her to eat or be more interested in food. She's a really good artist all by herself. She wouldn't need the coloring. You know, she just she could draw from freehand and create beautiful things. I always kind of envied that about her. She had a gorgeous singing voice when we were kids too. She still does, but you know, it's gotten deeper, throatier. She's not as soprano as she used to be. But then again, how many of us are? Unless you practice daily and you really, take care of your throat and stuff. Don't have to have a multitude of surgeries like we both have had. That, every little thing that happens in your life forms and changes, and like I've noticed each time I had surgery, my skin changed. Anesthesia and just the insult on the body changes it. And I was telling somebody else about this the other day. I came out of anesthesia one time, and I was still pretty loopy. And my mom was sitting there, and the nurse was asking questions. And I would hear a key word in the question, and I would start singing things back to her. And the nurse turns to my mom and says, "Is she always like this, or should we be worried about her?" And Mom said, "Like what?" She says, "Well, singing." And Mom says, "Well, normally she keeps the songs in her head, but she does. She's always heard, I'll hear a word or a snippet of a phrase, and it will bring a song forward in my head. And I'll start singing the song in my head. Occasionally I'll start humming it out loud, but, not often. But evidently the anesthesia just broke down barriers, and she would say something and I would sing a phrase from a song back at her. So that was kind of funny. I've noticed lately I've got a song from Bells Are Ringing stuck in my head. And one phrase from it in particular. Dean Martin sings the song, and the song is basically just "Do It." He's a writer, a playwright, who's having writer's block because hasn't written by himself in many years, but his partner, who he wrote with for years, has left him to write on his own. And so he's having a really hard time getting started, and so he's encouraged by Judy Holliday's character to just sit down and write, and that it would happen. She had faith in him. So he's singing the song, "Do It." And there's a line in there where he says, Miles Standish asked John Alden to ask Priscilla to marry him because he was too scared to ask her himself. So she turns him down, and the next line is, Priscilla said, "Now that Miles is gone, speak for yourself, dear John. Just do it, do it, do it, do it yourself." Anyway, that's the line that's been running through my head for like a week now. Well, let's see. It was 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, that I met up with those people at that convention for celebrity impersonators. And one of the fellows was a Dean Martin impersonator. And he was dressed just like Dean from Bells Are Ringing. And when I said he made me think of my favorite movie, before I even said the name of the movie, he said Bells Are Ringing, and he started singing the song that Dean sings to Judy Holliday in the movie. And so I had to come home and watch that movie like 3 times. So now I've got some of the songs stuck in my head. And I keep singing them to myself. There is a song in that movie which actually has been a question on Jeopardy a couple of times. And I think it was used on another game show at some point. But the question was, what was the phone number that she sings about in Bells Are Ringing? And it's after she's a switchboard operator is her character, and they have a phone service called Sue's Answer Phone, where like nowadays you have a voicemail message on your phone and it's automatically done. Well, back in the 50s it was an answering service, and with a switchboard operator, and either you connected through to the person, or you got the switchboard operator. So she passes on a message to Dean Martin's character, and her friends tell her that she needs to give up this fantasy of him. So she's by herself, and she starts to sing, "I'm in love with a man, Plaza O 4433. What a perfect relationship. I can't see him, he can't see me. He calls me Mom, he thinks I'm 63. And that one is another one that I think of frequently. But like I said, it was a Jeopardy question, Plaza O 4433. So if you ever get asked a trivia question, what was the phone number from Bells Are Ringing that Judy Holliday sings about? It's Plaza O 4433. And yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. When I was laid up from the fall in the sinkhole, I spent a lot of time not being able to do much else, stuck in bed, and I watched movies, whatever I had on video, because this was pre-DVD time. And I had Bells Are Ringing, Noises Off, Oscar with Sylvester Stallone. Hysterical movie. If you've never seen it, you really should. I know that seems kind of strange. Sylvester Stallone, hysterical movie. But oh my God, it really is. And I think I'm finally ready for bed. Anyway, I watch these movies over and over and over again to keep myself from being too depressed, because I was in so much pain. And so Bells Are Ringing. I was telling the fellow who does Dean Martin, I watched the video so many times I had to replace it like 6 or 7 times, because I stretched the videotape and it stopped, playing smoothly. So yeah, that was my favorite thing to watch. And what I'm doing right now is coral. Corals are usually, shades of coral. There are some fuchsia and stuff, but I'm going with the more peachy and salmon colors first, and this is a light bronze-like metallic. The others were, this one they call it zesty orange, but it's really kind of bronzy. So I did the rest in two shades of a more true orange. So some of this, I'm not sure if it's the coral or if it's like some of the shipwreck kind of stuff that you'd see down at the bottom of the sea. So I'm trying to mix and match my colors here to fit the scene. Now I've got that song in my head. If you've never seen Bells Are Ringing, I highly recommend it. Judy Holliday was a brilliant actress. She only did, I think, one musical, and that was Bells Are Ringing. And yet she had a fantastic singing voice. Very powerful. And she doesn't just sing, you know, soft and sweet and lyrical. She could really emphasize emotion with her voice. She was really phenomenal. Regretfully died fairly young due to cancer. I think her last movie, or close to the last one, was Solid Gold Cadillac. Another really good movie, but that one was a comedy, no singing. She was a brilliant talent that we lost too young. But I noticed there were no Judy Holliday impersonators at the convention. I'm not thin enough to do her, or I would. She would be my first choice. But anyhow, okay, so I'm going to deliberate the next color to use here. I'm not sure what I'm going to work with next. I do these for a little while, and then I set them aside and I read for a little bit, and then I come back to it. Another color has suddenly popped into my brain as inspiration, and I work with it. Not sure if you can see it. This and this are actually from the same watercolor brush. This one is without having extra water added. This one, I took the brush and I rubbed it against the brush that's just water, and then painted this with the watery blue. And then the top blue comes from the Color It marker, and these have two ends. One is chisel tipped, as you can see, and the other end is a point. And I use this for the sky, for the unicorn, and the background for a couple of the other pictures that I did. So, because it's very pale. This is the palest watery blue. And then the deeper here is one of the glitter pens. I love that glitter pen. It's really pretty. Definitely in the peacocky range. Anyhow, well, I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to go to bed because I have doggy duty tomorrow, taking Fox to the vet. So I hope y'all have a wonderful evening or morning if you're on the other side of the world. I have some friends in Australia and a few in England, so who knows where my video will be reaching. I'm going to post this on Facebook in a bit. So anyway, have a pleasant one. I hope you enjoyed my little session of creativity. Hang on. I know, big hand. All you're seeing is hand. Well, now you've got me. Anyhow, um, y'all take care, and I will talk to you later. And I hope this is a happy replacement for the walk and talks. Bye bye.